The slave market in Ostia never closed because it was Rome's ocean gateway. Ships carried the riches of the Mediterranean world into its harbors, and someone had to unload the cargo. Slaves. And slaves were also the precious cargo. From wars in the provinces to indebted families, from the mountains of Spain to the plains at the edge of the Parthian Empire, all were there, chained in rusty fetters, shackles around their ankles, brass locks, thick rope loops holding groups together. It all offered an appearance of freedom. They had enough slack to move around, to work, but nothing else. A slave is a slave is a slave. And in that situation, you have no will except the will of the master. Do this, and it must be done, or there will be consequences for you, possibly even death. The wages of grave disobedience could be death at an evil master's hand. So the next lot was ushered, pushed, shoved onto the stage like meat offered in the market after the sacrifices at the local temples. Representatives on the stage of every tongue, people, nation, tribe, some quite defiant, staring steely-eyed into the crowd at those agents who were pushing them onto the stage. Some were cowering like whipped dogs, knowing what was ahead for them. Most were resigned, though, a bit like oxen wearing yokes, knowing the heavy work ahead for them. And then they were examined, displayed, poked, reviewed. The numbers began to fill the air. 500 for that young woman, 1,000 for the young man, 3,000 for that family over there. And then a single voice was heard through all the shouting, the cursing, the crying, the bartering, all the street noise. I will buy the whole lot. You mean one or two? No, I want all of them. The entire family? That was not unusual. Individuals probably work better together as a single family. No, I want all of them. All of them on the stage. That would not be so unusual. A wealthy landowner might buy many for an estate in the country. No, I want all of them. I want the entire market. I want all the slaves. I want everything that you can see. I will buy it. And the marketeers burst into hearty laughter, berating, laughing, scorning the audacity, the stupidity, the arrogance of that offer. So, to follow this man's gimmick, how much? Your pockets don't look heavy with the coin of the day. I see no royal robes, not a single carriage around you. How will you pay for this? Well, I'm a ruler, a king, in fact, from a far away land, and I wish all to live in freedom. Free men, free women, free children. I will not give my royal earnings of mines, no orchards, nor fields, no more ships full of spices. That's all part of it, but not only all of that. I will give everything. The crowds gasp, and then they resume their scornful laughter. What sort of joke is this? And so the marketeers continue with the auction. He speaks again. Here is the seal of my family. Here's the proof of my wealth. Here's the guarantee that my word is absolutely good. And documents and seals are produced. And for surety for all of this, that I give my word, I give myself right now as the purchase price. I will climb onto the stage as the living word so that this entire slave market will be closed. Astounded, Jaws fall to the dusty roads. What would the market do? How could it survive? What about all the slaves? His empire for slaves? He, one man against all my security? This sounds like the perfect deal. Sir, you have a deal. The ropes were cut by swords and daggers. Locks fell to the worn planks on the stage, shackles left on the dirty roads. Freedom. What is it like for those who had been enslaved for their whole lives? Could they actually move around? Could they leave the arena? Could they walk off the road? What could they do? What were the possibilities after this? Some were unsure. They had only known slavery, a harsh master's will. They began to ask other former slaves, what should they do? What are the possibilities for us? But as they did, they witnessed with cries of horror as the one who freed them was actually put into chains. Feet, wrists, then mocked and beaten. So you are a rich man, royalty. You are a generous man, a kind man, to give up your life for slaves like these? Thieves, debtors, murderers, weak, sick, incompetent liars? Let's see how you do in their place. Your wealth can help you no more. You are here alone. This is my realm. He replies, I have no regrets. I have no second thoughts. As foolish as all of this seems to you, as weak as this seems to you, I know what the truth of life is. I really know what life is. And it cannot be lived in shackles and the fear of death and false hopes. They are free, but you are still chained in your misery, Lord, slavery. You can only hold power if there are slaves, and I have just freed them all. Now you have no power, no ability to enslave anyone. I've given my life, yes, my treasure, all of my riches, yes, for those you despise. I know them. They're actually my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, my cousins, my neighbors. As surely as I have this flesh which you are beating and blood which is gushing out onto the stage, I am one with them. And no matter what you do to me, they have been already freed. I give my own life. I freely give it. My blood I would have stain this wood. My anguish for them to fill all the ears that can ever hear. My loyalty to be known for all generations. My life as the redemption price. My will as the full desire to rescue them. My love is my sure commitment. Master slavery, you will spite me unto my own death, but I have accomplished what I came to do. And all who believe that I have paid the price know their freedom. I want a sign here on this arena that all slaves that think it is hopeless as they enter Ostia abandon all hope who enter here. Now I want a new sign that I've given hope for all who are in bondage, whoever the master is, wherever the slavery might be. My life is freedom for all, slave and slave owner, for barbarian and senator, for prostitute and slave owner. You are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. Thanks be to God.